first amateur race. Heading in behind the gate, we have a field of 3. Number 1 is Come On Scoot and Barack McEachern. Number 2 is Emerald Corker and Curtis Johnson. Rounding out the field, number 3, Lock, Load, and Fire with Will Chatwin. Here they come. They're off and pacing. Come on, Scoot to the inside. Will Chatwin's got Lock, Load, and Fire fired up from the outside. Now to drop in the 2 holes. They go around the first turn. We Come On Scoot on the front end. Emerald Corker drops in second. Lock, Load, and Fire drops in second. Emerald Corker trails the field as they make your way to the opening quarter. Come On Scoot is set up shop on the front end. Lock, Load, and Fire racing a second. Emerald Corker sits in third. They make their way past the opening quarter with Come On Scoot and Brock McEachern. 30 seconds flat by the opening quarter. Come On Scoot takes him into the fire turn. On way to the 3/8 now. Racing a second. Lock, Load, and Fire. 4 lengths back to Emerald Corker, who's racing third. They make their way off the 3/8 down in front of the grandstand for the first time. Brock McEachern still cuts the numbers with Come On Scoot. Will Chatwin racing second, Lock, Load, and Fire. Curtis Johnson trailing the field with Emerald Corker. Brock McEachern takes him to the half. 101-4, second quarter, 31-4. They step to the turn now, on way to the 5/8, led by Come On Scoot. Lock, Load, and Fire racing second. Emerald Corker racing third. Off the 5/8, down the backside they go. Come On Scoot is opened up, now leads by 6. Lock, Load, and Fire second. Emerald Corker, another 5 lengths in back of him in third as they make their way to the 3/4. And Brock McEachern is opening up his lead. 133 flat by the 3/4. Come On Scoot. Lock, Load, and Fire now gives chase a second. Closes the gap up a little bit. Emerald Corker still racing third. They have an 1/8 of a mile left to go, and Brock McEachern's the one to catch in the amateur race number 1. He's got Come On Scoot on top at all points. He looks to hold it out. On the outside, Lock, Load, and Fire's going to give chase. Back to Emerald Corker, right down to the wire. Come On Scoot! Lock, Load, and Fire second, and Emerald Corker third. Time for the mile, 2:04.1.
Your stablemate was second, getting to you at the wire.
On the last turn, I mean, old Lock, Load, Fire don't pass too many, but if it was going to be one, it probably would have been this one.
I think you should put old Will on him there for next Saturday.
I'll tell you what, we were going to retire him after today, but if Willie decides to get his license, we might have to keep him around.
Ladies and gentlemen, horse now pretty into the winner's circle. Winner of our first of 5 amateur races on the night. Number 1, Come On Scoot. He's owned by the Who's the Glue stable, driven by Brock McEachern. Brock put him on top at every station. 1/4 and 30, half and 101-4, 3/4 and 133. Come On Scoot wins tonight for Brock, 2:04.1. Now trackside, Randy Phillips has a cooler sponsored by Alpine and Mike Murray's Portland Pub and Steakhouse. That goes to our winner of the first of our amateur races. Number 1, Come On Scoot and Brock McEachern, 2:04.1. Congratulations, Brock. Attaboy. Field of 3 for the second amateur race, sponsored by Mike Murray's Portland Pub and Steakhouse. Approaching ahead of the stretch, and here they come. They're off and pacing, and Bull Sewell has Charlotte's Monty pointed right to the front as they head to the first turn. On the inside, Ty Bryn and Tammy Sowers get away second. Calavita Zeus and Jason Ryan get away third as they make their way off the 8th pole. Race down the back stretch on way to the opening quarter, and Bull Sewell has Charlotte's Monty set up shop on the front end. He leads by about a half a dozen lengths. Racing in second is Ty Bryn, and Calavita Zeus is racing third. They make their way on past the opening quarter, and Charlotte's Monty shows the way. Opening quarter paced in 30-2. They race into the last turn. Now going to the 3/8, and Charlotte's Monty cuts the numbers. Ty Bryn is racing second, and Calavita Zeus is racing third. Off the 3/8 they come. They make their way down in front of the grandstand. Racing for the opening half. Charlotte's Monty shows the way. He's on top by about 7 lengths. They race now towards the opening half, and Bull Sewell has one thing on his mind. That's the front end. As Charlotte's Monty takes him to the half, 1:01 and 2. Racing second, Ty Bryn and Tammy Sowers. Racing third is Jason Ryan and Calavita Zeus. They make their way around the barn turn, on the way up the back stretch now for the 3/4. And Charlotte's Monty is opening lengths with every stride. Bull Sewell goes to the sword. He's on top now by about 10. Racing second, Ty Bryn. Calavita Zeus is racing third. Charlotte's Monty's all alone. 3/4, 1:33 and 1. Racing into the top turn. It's all Charlotte's Monty. Now by 8. Ty Bryn racing second. Calavita Zeus third. They're well spread out. But coming off the top turn, it's all Charlotte's Monty. Shows his heels to the field. He's on top by about 10. Ty Bryn for second. Calavita Zeus for third. Down to the wire, Charlotte's Monty. Ty Bryn for second, and Calavita Zeus. Time for the mile, 2:05 and 2.
An old veteran here. What do you think?
I had to get him fired up behind the gate to get ahead of them other ones, so what I did.
When do you think he had an old one?
When Dale told me to go.
Dale told you to go. So you think he'll do it again next year?
Yes.
Gonna get your license?
It's possible.
You look better in burial out there.
Don't tell him that.
Race 7 to the paddock right away, please. Race 7 to the paddock. Ladies and gentlemen, parading back the winner's circle now. Winner of Little Brown Bottle Amateur Race number 2. It's number 3, Charlotte's Monty. He's owned by Dale Spence Jr. of St. John, New Brunswick. He's driven tonight by Murray Bull Sewell. Put him on top at every station. Give Charlotte's Monty a win tonight. 2:05 and 2. Trackside, Randy Phillips to present an Alpine cooler to young Dale Spence Jr. and Bull Sewell. Now race number 3 of our amateur race, the Little Brown Bottle. He heading in behind the gate. The gate is moving. We got number 1, Lucky Northern Star and Andrew Ward. Number 2, Tisha's Pit Pony and Travis Fowler. Number 3, Cole J. Commando, Linda Hellman. Outside 4, Longworth Legacy, Brendan Send 'em Dooley. Field of 4, here they come. They're off and pacing from the outside. Longworth Legacy in search of the early lead as they step around the first turn. Lucky Northern Star has it on the inside, but Brendan Send 'em Dooley finds his way on the front end on way to the opening quarter. Racing in second is Cole J. Commando. Lucky Northern Stars racing third. Tisha's Pit Pony can see them all as they make their way to the opening quarter. Brendan Dooley assumes the lose position on the front end. Longworth Legacy opening quarter. Boom! 29 and 2. Racing second, Cole J. Commando. Lucky Northern Star is racing third. Tisha's Pit Pony trails the field. They make their way off the 3/8 in front of the grandstand for the opening half. And Brendan Dooley and Longworth Legacy show the way. Cole J. Commando and Linda Hellman are racing second. Andrew Ward and Lucky Northern Star third. And trailing the field, Teaches Pit Pony and Travis Fowler. Half was paced in a minute and 3/5. They make their way to the turn on way to the 5/8 now. Longworth Legacy has opened up 3 lengths on the field. Cole J. Commando is racing second. Andrew Ward to the stick third. On the outside, Teaches Pit Pony comes to third. They make their way down the backside. And Brendan Dooley is in hand. In command, going to the 3/4. Cole J. Commando's racing second. Teaches Pit Pony on the outside third. 1:32 and 3 by the 3/4 and into the top turn. Longworth Legacy and Brendan Dooley. Cole J. Commando's racing second. Huck on the inside. Lucky Northern Star is third. Fourth, Teaches Pit Pony, and down the stretch they come for home. It's all Longworth Legacy and Brendan Dooley. On the outside, Cole J. Commando, Brendan Dooley, and Longworth Legacy have found their way to the winner's circle. Finishing second, Cole J. Commando, Teaches Pit Pony, and Lucky Northern Star. Time for the mile, 2:04 and 1.
Game in the queue.
I'd say the Q.
The queue. I think you look better than your old man out there.
Nah, taught me everything I knew.
Oh, don't say that, Brendan. Don't say that. Congratulations. Good job.
Ladies and gentlemen, parading back the winner's circle now. Winner of the Little Brown Bottle, heat number 3 of the amateurs. It's number 4, Longworth Legacy. He's on with the Dooley Bulls Racing Stable. Driven today by Brendan Sendham Dooley. Puts him on top at every station. Longworth Legacy returns a winner. 2:04 and 1. Once again, trackside, we have Sam Hodgen from the St. John Harness Horsemen's Association and Randy Phillips presenting the cooler, sponsored by Mike Murray's Portland Pub and Steakhouse and Moosehead Breweries. To our winner of heat number 3, Longworth Legacy, Brendan Sendham Dooley, 2:04 and 1. Arizona Maverick with Kenny Fudge. Gate is at the head of the stretch, and here they come. Here off and pacing and quickly. Dillinger's Lady goes for your lead up front. Racing in second. No thoughts of her own. No thoughts of her own. Going to cut it. Dillinger's Lady's racing second. On the inside, third, Memories of Love and Arizona Maverick. Trails on the outside as they make her way to the opening quarter. Up front and cutting it out, No Thoughts of Her Own, and Scotty Hubbard racing a second. Dillinger's Lady with Serge Cormier. On the outside, Kenny Fudge, not content, wants to see that 2-hole with Arizona Maverick. Opening quarter paced and 30 seconds flat. They race into the top turn. No Thoughts of Her Own and Scotty Hubbard racing second. Dillinger's Lady, the outside third. Arizona Maverick trailing on the rail fourth. Memories of Love off the 3/8. They race in front of the grandstand for the opening half. Up front and showing the way, Scotty Hubbard. No Thoughts of Her Own racing in second. Dillinger's Lady. On the outside third, Arizona Maverick, and trailing the field, Memories of Love. Half was paced, 1:01 and 4. They race to the turn. On way now to the 5/8, No Thoughts of Her Own a length. Racing second, Dillinger's Lady. On the inside third, Memories of Love. Outside fourth, Arizona Maverick. Down the backside, they go for the 3/4. Scotty Hubbard opens up 3 lengths right now. Racing second, Dillinger's Lady. On the inside third, Memories of Love. Arizona Maverick, 1:33 and 3 by the 3/4. Into the final turn they go. No Thoughts of Her Own. Dillinger's Lady's closing up second. Whoop, whoop, whoop. On the outside, look out. There's action. On the outside third comes Memories of Love. Down the stretch they come for home. No Thoughts of Her Own. Dillinger's Lady on the outside. Far outside, Memories of Love. Right down to the wire. No Thoughts of Her Own wins it. Dillinger's Lady second. Memories of Love and Arizona Maverick. Time for the mile, 2:04 and 1.
back or
I was leaving.
you were leaving?
I was leaving.
This bear good tonight?
She was A1.
You look like burial out there.
Not quite.
Good drive, Scotty. Congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, parading back the wire now, the winner of amateur race number 4. Number 2 on your program, No Thoughts of Her Own. She's owned by the Yeah, I'll Get You Done Tomorrow stable. Driven tonight by Scotty Hubbard. Puts her on top at every station. Mare wins tonight, 204-1. Now trackside from the St. John Harness Horsemen's Association, Sam Hodgin and Randy Phillips. Presenting the cooler symbolic of Moosehead Breweries and Mike Murray's Portland Pub and Steakhouse as sponsors of our second annual Little Round Bottle. They present the cooler to number 2. No Thoughts of Her Own with Scotty, I'll Get You Done Tomorrow, Hubbard. Congratulations, Scotty. From the rail out, we get a scratch number 1 Keybo. From the rail out, we get number 2 Materialism and Butchie White. Number 3 Ryan's Fancy and Harley McKinnon. Number 4 Eyes on You, Christopher Davies. Outside 5, Mr. Verbo, Sifroy Melanson. Here they come. They're off and pacing quickly from the middle of the racetrack. Chris Davies and Eyes on You eyeing for the lead, but on the inside, Harley McKinnon wants to cut it out with Ryan's Fancy. They step around the turn on way to the opening 8th, and Ryan's Fancy has rolled off stride. Going to the back stretch, that gives young Christopher Davies and Eyes on You the lead. Materialism and Butchie White settle in second. Back pacing third, Ryan's Fancy and Harley McKinnon. Mr. Verbo trails the field, opening quarter 29-4. Young Chris Davies has set up shop on the front end with Eyes on You. Racing in second, Materialism. Ryan's Fancy is racing third. Mr. Verbo trails the field. They come off the 3/8, race down in front of the grandstand for the opening half. Up front, cutting it out is Eyes on You. Up on the outside, here comes Materialism. Gives chase in the second. Ryan's Fancy third at the rail. Mr. Verbo follows cover fourth. Half a minute and 1/5. Around the turn, they race for the 5/8. Eyes on You racing on top. On the outside, Materialism is racing a second. Inside third is Ryan Fancy. Mr. Verbo gets into it from fourth. Down the backside, they go over the 3/4 now on the outside. Materialism 3 wide. Mr. Verbo is picking them up and laying them down. Now grabs the top on the outside. Mr. Verbo 131-4 by the 3/4. They race into the top turn. On the outside, Mr. Verbo. On the inside, Eyes on You. Racing third on the outside, Ryan's Fancy and Materialism trails the field. Down the stretch, they come for home. On the outside, it's Mr. Verbo. On the inside, Eyes on You. Ryan's Fancy is 3 wide, but Mr. Verbo and Sifroy Melanson win our feature of the evening. Eyes on You second, Ryan's Fancy and Materialism. Time for the mile, 2:02-1.
And then when we got to the 3/4 pole, it started to catch on.
So now when next time you're watching your horse race, you might have a little more compassion for your driver.
Yeah.
Congratulations. And great job to all the amateur drivers tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, parading back the winner's circle now, the winner of our feature of the Little Brown Bottle. It's number 5, Mr. Verbo, owned by the Ultimate Stables and Don Hubbard. Sifroy Melanson in the driver's seat tonight. Gave this horse a good drive up the backstretch, sweeping them up 3 wide. And Mr. Verbo returns a winner tonight in 2:02-1. Now trackside for cooler presentations, we have Randy Phillips bringing the cooler over, symbolic of Moosehead Breweries, and Mike Murray's Portland Pub and Steakhouse, who sponsored all of our amateur races tonight. He's going to drape the cooler over number 5, Mr. Verbo, once again owned by Don Hubbard and the Ultimate Stables. Sifroy Melanson in the driver's seat tonight. Timed this race perfect up the back stretch and parades him back 2:02 and 1. Mr. Verbo and Sifroy Melanson.